Big news if, like me, you are a fan of Le Mans Ultimate, as Studio 397 have released details of their upcoming June update. And you know what? I don't think it's hyperbole to say that this could be the biggest update this game has yet had. So let's take a look at what they're going to be giving us. Are they going to make all of our sim racing dreams come true, or are we all going to be breathing a collective sigh of meh? Here we are then. This is the Le Mans Ultimate official YouTube page, and this is the video that they released with the all the details of the update earlier on today. So I thought I would just kind of play through it, see what they've got to say, give my reaction to it. Let's take it from the top.
This release, scheduled for the 10th of June, marks another major milestone on our journey. Our last major update at the end of February brought you a very positively received LMGT3 tyre model, new track layout variations, major heads-up display improvements, as well as new content. Since that update in April, as some of you may have been aware, our business received brand new investment, which means that we can continue making, refining and improving Le Mans Ultimate to be the very best of sports car sim racing.
And you know what? That actually might be the biggest announcement. Not that it's an announcement necessarily just in this video, they announced this before, but this might be the biggest thing in this video. A year ago, everybody was saying, Le Mans Ultimate's never going to go anywhere, the studio's got no money, it's dead, don't spend your money on it, it's in 6 months' time, there isn't even going to be a game. I think we can now safely say that Le Mans Ultimate's trajectory is very much upwards, and the game's future is, I don't want to say safe, because I don't know enough about it, but it's certainly looking very secure at the moment. The investment is there, the game is going forward. Those problems and those thoughts of the game going under can be put to bed as far as I'm concerned.
This is something that we are internally very proud of, but you, our passionate fan base, have made this possible through your invaluable feedback and very positive reviews. More on this to come in the future. Since launching Early Access, we've been working closely with you, the community, to build and refine the game into something worthy of its name.
I would agree with that, actually. Something that the studio has done very, very well is I've made a video about this previously, actually, about what LMU has done and what Assetto Corsa Evo needs to do. Go and check that video out. LMU and the Studio 397 have done really, really well with engaging with the community through videos like this and also listening to feedback. And they've really brought the game into a really good place through that process, I think.
From multiplayer depth to fresh cars and circuits, there's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Number 1, driver swaps.
This is the biggie.
Finally, we'll be running our first events where you can hand over the car to another player mid-race during our live online endurance events using the new driver swap feature. You will be able to enjoy the strategy and teamwork required to share in a car's success or failure over multi-hour races. After registering for the event as part of a team,
interesting pit entry there,
which we will cover later on in this video, you and your teammates are able to swap in the pit lane by selecting the next driver in the pit menu of the multifunction display, or MFD. Compared to...
Okay, that's cool. I mean, that looked pretty straightforward to me. This is the key to this whole thing in a way, if it works properly. But just being able to do a driver swap easily is such a big thing. I remember when ACC did it. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've done it in ACC, but it was a real muddle. It could be quite difficult to do. You weren't ever quite sure whether the change had gone through. So making it easy on the HUD is the first step in a way.
Display, or MFD. Compared to our previous titles, we have made various core code changes to improve security, performance and functionality. When you join a server, the game knows which car you are participating with, enabling your teammates to configure your pit stops. This has the additional bonus of allowing any team member to resume from the pit lane in the unfortunate case of a technical issue.
That's very good. That's always, you don't want your whole race to be completely ruined just because, Wi-Fi goes down or something like that. But I have to say, the thing that excites me most about that, where was it? Teammates being able to configure pit stops. That's a massive thing. It's a kind of a pet peeve of mine, right? And this is obviously only going to be something that you can do in longer form races where you have teammates. But the amount of fiddling you have to do as a driver with strategies, you're driving a race, you're having to think about strategy, how much fuel I want, whilst also fiddling around on your steering wheel with these tiny little buttons whilst driving, trying to figure out fuel ratios and how much energy you want and which tyres to put on. I've made so many mistakes just because you can't concentrate on all those things in one go. So being able to have your teammate set all this stuff up, the guy who's ready to jump into the car, ready to set all this stuff up for you it's a fantastic idea, and I'm glad they're bringing it into the game, because it annoys me so much that you are basically the driver, the crew chief, the engineer, everything. It'll be nice to have this backup while you're racing.
What's the state of this feature in the release? Well, whilst we have intensively tested this internally with the help of some community members, the large-scale performance testing of servers and driver swap information many hours into a race is not an easy task for a team of our size. Therefore, we are releasing it first only in special events so that we can closely monitor performance and make adjustments in our own environment.
That's fine as far as I'm concerned. It's obviously not a full rollout, but then I didn't really expect it to be anything more than on special events, really. I guess at some point they'll start running team championships, and I think he goes into that in a minute. But yeah, just being in special events for now is absolutely fine as far as I'm concerned.
In future, we'll be expanding these races to create new team-based online championships and to leagues via racecontrol.gg and SimGrid as we gain confidence in the feature's robustness. Number 2, team management. Rather than just allowing one-off entries into races, we've created a team dynamic in Le Mans Ultimate powered by Race Control that allows you to create a team identity and invite your friends into it. You'll then be able to nominate roles for your teammates and assign them to cars or lineups. You'll find teams available in the top right of the navigation bar. From this menu you can see your invites, accept or reject them, or create your own team directly inside the game itself. When creating a team, you'll be able to upload a logo and also a background page for all your teammates to see, which will then be used elsewhere in event pages. Here's a bit more information about the roles that are available.
Okay, that's really interesting. That wasn't something I knew about. There's a couple of things within this update that I knew about before the update. They had announced these things before they released this video, but this I don't think was one of them. That's really interesting. That could be really cool. It'd be not quite sure how exactly that's going to work, but to put a team of people together and have regulars that you drive with as a team within the game, that's got real potential to be a lot of fun and to be a real community driven thing. That's cool. I like this a lot.
Driver. What it says on the tin. Drivers drive the car, and that is all they do. Engineer. This role will allow a player to be on the server, see data from the car and session, whilst also being able to make pit stop changes. As you can see on the new watch screen that we are making available for team races, there's quite a lot of detail to sink your teeth into. The engineer role, if used correctly, can be an invaluable contributor to your team's success or failure.
Oh, so I get right. So you could have, if they're bringing this in for the shorter form races as well, you could just get a buddy to come in and be your eyes and ears on the wall and set up your pit stops for you. Also very interesting. If you can find somebody willing to do it for you, I suppose. Yeah, cool. Very cool.
Manager. This role allows a team member to assign players to different car lineups, assign liveries and register them for races. Team owner. Has all of the aforementioned, but can also change ownership. Everyone can make a team of up to 6 members with one lineup. For those players that want to have larger teams, the team owner needs to be a Race Control Pro or Pro Plus subscriber, enabling the ability to have up to 100 members and up to 10 lineups.
Okay, so you did that. I guess that's making the subscription services a little bit more attractive. Some people have been saying, well, what do I really get for subscribing? Not very much. Really, the only thing that you get above and beyond just getting the DLC was access to the online championships. But now they're starting to give a little bit more for those subscription services, which I guess is nice to see for those who do subscribe. If you don't want to, at the end of the day, if you don't want that functionality, then you don't don't take out a subscription. But yeah, that all seems very cool. I'm very interested to see how that works. I'd be interested to put a team together. You know, Team DGR, something like that. Apply within, I suppose. Anybody that fancies it. But yeah, that could be very powerful. I like that a lot. That's kind of bit of an original idea of having a proper team of people behind you. You're not just racing on your own. You know, you're racing with people and forming a bit of a community. I really like that. Okay, let's keep going.
Number 3, custom liveries. Our brand new livery system allows you to upload a livery to apply to a car on a particular team, and then it will be automatically transmitted to all drivers and spectators on a server. For now, this feature is only available for online events, both single driver and team-based. Since this feature requires significant back-end infrastructure and bandwidth to automatically send deliveries across to all competitors, this feature is only available to Race Control Pro and Pro Plus players. But
liveries isn't something I'm too bothered about. I've never gone into trying to create my own or anything, but you know, there are companies and there are people out there that you know, you pay them and they will make a livery for you, which you know, again, I suppose for little channels like mine, making a car livery out of the DGR logo and stuff, very cool, and people love that sort of stuff. So again, just this little bit more functionality, there'll be people that absolutely love this.
The 2024 season completed. Pack 5, also releasing on the 10th of June, is the final one for the 2024 FIA WEC season. Lusail International Circuit, the opening race of the World Championship, making its debut in Le Mans Ultimate. Utilising the latest laser scan from the summer of 2024, we've built this once again with Studio 397's famed attention to detail. Floodlit and fast, Lusail offers a unique mix of technical corners and long straights, perfect for multi-class racing and offering a unique challenge.
Yeah, it's not a track that I've ever raced on, I don't think, in a sim. Maybe like an old F1 title back in the day, possibly when it was on the F1 calendar. Don't remember, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because it will be pretty much a brand new track to me. So always nice to have a new track in a game to learn and get to grips with. And you know, one thing about LMU is the content is fairly limited when it comes to that. So having a new track is very, very welcome.
Not only that,
and it looks great,
but we're also adding the short circuit that is likely to be spicy and full of action as it cuts out the majority of the circuit's slower Sector 2. Joining the LMGT3 class are two highly anticipated cars. Firstly, the Lamborghini Huracan LMGT3 Evo 2, as run by both Iron Lynx and the Iron Dames in 2024, but sadly missing from the 2025 grid.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Additionally, the fan favourite Lexus RCF LMGT3 offers a distinct look and feel to the GT grid and will no doubt become one of the most popular cars on track. With this final 2024 pack added, the game now offers a grand total of 11 circuits with 21 layouts, 11 hypercars, 1 LMP2, 4 GTEs and 9 LMGT3s, 25 in total. We hope you enjoy racing them as much as we have enjoyed creating them in all of the painstaking detail.
Yeah, so, you know, the content's getting there. It's getting there. Yes, it could do with more tracks. We'll see what the future brings with that. There's maybe going to be a little bit of something, hopefully, about that at the end of this video, about where the game's going. I'm quite keen to know that myself, actually, because it's potential for some exciting stuff. There really is.
Number 5. Other updates. The LMGT3 tyre model has had another significant refinement, particularly aimed at reducing the potential abuse of slip angle and increasing low speed weight, whilst keeping the stability and predictability of the tyre that you've come to expect. As always, with plenty of feedback from real-world drivers, we hope it is something you'll enjoy.
Okay, so they're updating the GT3 tyre model again. So I was hoping that there might be something on the hypercars and the LMP2s, which there doesn't seem to be, which is a little bit of a shame. That's a bit of a letdown. Having said that, the LMP2s, I think the way they feel right now is fantastic. The hypercars could do with a little bit of a tweak, I think. They don't quite give the same feel as the LMP2s, or obviously the GT3s, which they've done the tyre updates for. So, I mean, great that they are continuing to update the GT3s, but I would have liked to have seen something about the hypercars and the LMP2s as well. So that's the one down on the video so far.
Race starts have had a bit of a polish, including the class splits being respected. This means that classes are now correctly grouped together, even if they don't qualify, and class pole position will also receive the best side of the grid.
That's good. I'm glad for that, because it was, or it is, very annoying. It happens especially at Le Mans because it's such a long track. But if you, for whatever, you don't get a qualifying lap in, you start in a hypercar in amongst all the GT3s, it just creates chaos at the start, as you know, hypercars try and come too quickly through the field. So I'm glad they've brought that in, so that all the hypercars start together regardless of where they actually sort of qualified. You know, if your time was, you didn't set a time, you're not going to be starting behind the GT3s. So yes, very good.
We've also implemented gaps between classes as well, meaning that by the time the LMGT3s turn up at turn 1, hopefully the hypercars have sorted out their mess. For fuel-saving aficionados,
as they do in real
the
life,
clutch pedal has now been disabled above first gear, meaning you'll have to lift and coast normally like the rest of us.
Okay, so this is something I heard about, but I've never actually done it. That lift and coast, if you dip the clutch, you actually save more fuel than if you just lifted off the accelerator, which I don't see how that works really, because I would have thought just lifting and coasting would save you fuel, because the engine is more or less running itself if you're coasting, whereas if you dip the clutch, it's, I don't know. But anyway, it's not something that you can do in real life, I don't think, so it was unrealistic, and it was a little bit of a not a cheat. I can't think of a better word than cheat. You know what I mean. So I'm glad they've done away with that anyway. So you've got a, you know, lifting and coasting is now done properly in the game.
Additionally, the fuel tab on the multifunction display, or MFD, has been completely revised so that you can access some interesting information about your consumption, and allowing you to set lap targets to extend your stint, with warnings if your engineer doesn't think you will make it.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see how that works. That is something I would be very much in favour of, because I like a fuel save every now and then. Yeah, again, it's just bringing a bit more strategy into it, and being able to work that strategy. I suppose again, as long as you're not having to fiddle about with the steering wheel trying to get everything right, and maybe you've got time to set it up before the race. Again, really good, really interesting. Keen to see how that's going to work.
Engineer doesn't think you will make it. What's next? Here's where
Okay, here we go. This is what I'm really interested in. Oh, well, I'm interested in all of it, but this could be a biggie.
Here's where I would normally give you a preview of the next update, but this time we're going to do things a little differently. 3 days after this update is due to release, 10th of June in case you've forgotten, on the 13th of June we'll be joining the ACO press conference in Le Mans on the eve of the 24-hour race. Since that's not open to the public, we'll simultaneously release the information on our upcoming plans with a similar video to this one. We just know you're going to love it.
Oh, okay. So no update in this video. We have to wait another week and a bit to the Friday before Le Mans, which is a week this Friday at the time of recording. Okay. Keep it. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. But okay. At the end of the day, if they're going to make this announcement, we know there's something coming, right? And we know it's not just going to be something small. So we've got something to look forward to.
Until then, you'll have to enjoy the soundtrack as our first little clue.
Well, we all know what that is. That is the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
You'll have to enjoy the soundtrack as our first little clue.
Okay, I think we all knew that was coming, to be fair. I think we all knew the Valkyrie was going to be, you know, at the end of the day, the 2025 car pack is going to include the 2025 cars, isn't it? So yeah, the Valkyrie was bound to be one of them. Okay, so, I mean, what do we think? What do I think? I think this is the update that makes LMU a big boy. It has been an early access title right up until now. I think depending on how this update goes, if this releases in the way that they want it to and the driver swap works in the way that they want it to, I think you can, regardless of whether they still say it's an early access or not, this is the update that makes LMU a full title. There's obviously a lot of things they've got to work through with the driver swaps and with the liveries and making sure that the servers aren't crashing left, right, and center because everybody's loading in new liveries. That's going to be a big challenge for them. Like he said, they're a small studio. But if they get this working within 2 or 3 months, I think, yeah, you've got a full packaged game there. You release it full as far as I'm concerned. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. Are you excited for this update? Are you more meh? I knew this was coming anyway. I'm really looking forward to this next announcement next week, so maybe I'll do another video on that. But if you have liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.